Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion. So once again we are in Quickbeam's Grove, where if he stays still a second I will talk to him. We've got our various quests from the fort the last time that we finished off. We've got to hand in with him.
Stand now and rest a while.
The sight of smoke rising from those fires burns at my heartwood. So many fine trees lost, and for nothing. It is scant solace to know that some small part of that smoke now carries away what is left of the hateful axes used to hew their noble trunks.
Home, home. You are a hasty folk.
As you can see, trees are strong, stronger than any troll or artifice of the enemy. Our hands can crush iron and rock when we are roused to anger. Soon the forest will be roused. The trees of Fangorn to the east grow restless. As they look down over the ruins of this vale, they will not remain quiet and still forever. So we've got a couple of bits we can hand in. So we have some shoulder pieces, some bracelets, nothing too fancy there though, and then a ring and an earring and a bracelet. So we don't care about them.
Stand now and rest a while.
I like you, little elf. You are willing to raise a weapon to aid the forest, rather than cut it down. So the elves do have a bit of a history of being friends to the Ents way back in the early days of the world. So, you know, they like us, unlike everyone else that chops down trees.
Alas, I do not see that we have thinned their numbers much. I must think upon this. We should not be too hasty, as I am often reminded.
Since Quickbeam has, he's considered hasty for an Ent, shall we say. But yeah, for an Ent anyway, it's still pretty slow for you know, human or elf.
You should not be giving your right name away like so.
Tarum! Yes, well, there are rather a lot of orcs, are there not? I suppose you cannot drive them all away. Well then, we shall have to learn more about them and get to the root of why they are here, no pun intended, and what purpose Saruman has for them. They must have a leader. If you can find his dwelling, perhaps you might learn more.
So we have to examine the Urk's orders. That's going to send us all the way back to the camp. Actually, he's got some more quests.
Let's not be hasty.
I once spoke with one of the wise who believed that trolls were indeed Ents. Tarum. Perhaps the wise are not as wise as they would like to believe. But it did get me to thinking. What if they are a bit Ent-like? You see, we have a draft we give to the trees when they become upset. It slows them down, makes them more tree-like, less dangerous. So if the wise are to be believed, and trolls are just a bit Entish, then perhaps it would work on them.
So, yeah, we're going to go rohypnol some trolls, because why not? Yeah, so he's basically talking about the Huorns, the angry trees that are all much more tree-like, as opposed to the Ents, which are a bit more mobile and more kind of anthropomorphic, more like human-like. Whereas the Huorns are the angry trees, so you know they're the ones that you're going to see in the old forest. Certainly, loads of places around Fangorn and various other places in the game world. Where we have a lag spike. There we go. Yes, they basically get a bit rowdy, a bit feral. So the Ents like to calm them down a bit, give them a little potion, say, here, drink this, calm them down, send them back to sleep, and they'll just be basically like a normal tree again for a reasonably long period of time by human standards. Right, so we need to find any free trolls. Doesn't matter which troll's in this place, so we're going to have to just ride past and find a couple. Now I know there's always going to be at least one over here. hidden in the corner over there in the bush, pretending we can't see him. Now I'm going to want to wait here, see who comes over, just murder anyone that hasn't reset, and probably get stunned and disarmed constantly. There we go, that's the first disarm of the day. And there's probably going to be a good few more of them, but luckily some bleeds are killing off people. Get as much AoE in before they do it again. There we go. Okay, you guys going to give me some more? Oh dear, that's actually getting a bit tight there. Whoop, 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 whoop. Bonk. Oh shit, you blocked it. Okay, he blocked the first attack, I killed him with the next one, and then the guy in the background just died to a bleed. Right. So we need to basically target the troll. As you can see, as soon as I target this troll, okay, it's still staying highlighted. But if you open it up, we have the strange draft. The strange draft provided by Quickbeam is normally used by the Ents to quell particularly agitated Huons, but he has suggested using it against the stone trolls of Nankurinir. So on use, minus 50% target run speed, multiplies maximum morale by 1. Now, in reality, that's badly worded because that should halve his health from 56 down to half of that, because otherwise they could be, or at least back in the day they were quite hard to kill 56k. That was a bit more meaningful because you probably only had about 5k health if that, and they probably would have hit a bit harder as well. So we just have to select him, we have to use the draft, which will instantly aggro him. Now he does have this debuff on him, Lethargy of the Forest. So there we go. It took a while for that to kick in actually, but yeah, he was 56, he's now dropped down to 28, which is more manageable. I mean, I don't have to use this. I think the quest would still advance if I just killed the troll anyway. But at the end of the day, if I can use it, why not? It makes sense to use it. Otherwise we'll just be here bashing him for longer and letting our health go down some more. So that is one troll. Now we need the boss at the back of the encampment as well, so we're going to work our way towards the boss and see if we can find any trolls in the way. So the easiest way to get the boss is the door we came in, turn left into this room where the troll is, and then it's literally left again over here, where these like big tower bits are. So we're going to bring our new friends over here, because there's going to be some more guards here as well, so we'll just group these guys up. Okay, we were going to group these guys up. Okay, he stunned me, plonked me over the back of the head. That's not good, because now you're attacking me from behind, where I cannot block or parry. I can only evade from behind. So let's get you all in front of me, hit you with some AoE. Now one of the guys has actually gone off and reset, I think, so that makes my life a bit easier. So the guy we want is over here. Well, not that one, but the orders are in the background. That's what we want. So we might even be able to sneak around. Can we get in the back? I'm not sure. We can. There we go. So if we sneak in here, grab the orders. Oh damn it, that's typical fashion. Just a little bit too close to that archer. So kill you. There we go. Now we pick up this orders, and I don't know if it spawns the boss. You examine the Uruk's orders, but you hear a sound behind you. The Shakai commander approaches, and I should probably interrupt that. A bit too slow. Since it's one-on-one, I can actually interrupt their inductions. It's their red attack inductions that actually do the stuns. So that was avoidable. Yeah, we'll murder him, then we'll see if we can find 2 more trolls. But if you guys haven't been paying attention to the patch that came out this week, there's just a little like minor hotfix patch. Nothing too drastic in it really, just fixing a few bugs here and there. But one of the interesting things to note in there was some relatively minor changes they made to the virtue system, which they've actually clarified a bit on the LOTRO forums. So what they've done is they've taken the current virtues, because at the moment you can have your virtues capped pretty much early in the game. It'd be very hard to do as a genuine low-level character. I suppose you could always like purchase the virtue ranks via the store and stuff like that. But at the moment you can get maximum rank of virtues, which is rank 20, for each of those virtues, and have all the benefits that go with it. So the change that they made in the last patch is basically to gate the maximum rank of virtue, for which you will gain the stats, to be somewhat level gated. Okay, so between level 1 and level 10, your virtue cap will be 2 ranks. Okay, this is the main gate, isn't it? And then after that, every 5 levels, you will go up one additional rank in virtue. So between 1 and 10, your cap is 2. As soon as you hit level 11, your virtue cap becomes 3. As soon as you hit 16, it becomes 4. 21 is 5, etc., etc. Up until level 96, where you will hit the current level cap of 20. Okay. Now, of course, you can still continue to complete deeds which will grant you additional ranks of a virtue. So you could have unlocked, you know, I mean, certainly at endgame these days, it's quite possible to have unlocked 30 ranks of a virtue, but you only gain benefits of 20 because that's your current cap. So, what does that change mean? Well, in all honesty, for a low-level character, probably not much, because you're very unlikely to have invested in completing a load of deeds anyway. The exception might be if you are a low-level character who likes to use Stone of the Tortoise. There's a troll over there that I've somehow missed. If you like to use Stone of the Tortoise to freeze your level, complete all quest and deed in a region before moving on. First off, you're a glutton for punishment doing that, trying to go for 100% completion in any MMO. But you have my respect nonetheless. Yeah, normally, like if you're playing through the game, generally the done thing is you kind of like get up to at least a reasonably high level, if not the actual level cap, and then you go back to lower level regions, run around, murder a load of low level grey mobs, and complete your deeds nice and easy to grind up whatever virtues you're interested in having. So really, it's probably going to have no impact, or no negative impact really, on players at the moment. But the interesting thing to note is the discussions some of the devs had on the forums as to why they are doing this, okay? And I'm not paying attention to the fact this troll is doing a ton of damage to me. Stun him. Plenty of time to... I didn't use the draft on this boy at all. Oh shit, have I just healed him with the draft? That's even worse. Oh, now I've aggroed Nuruk, why not? Yeah, the discussions as to why they're doing this, basically it's because they want to revamp virtues in the future, which is something that people have been asking for a long time, because at the moment, at endgame, virtues don't really do anything. They're relatively minor. They're like reasonably balanced for the early to mid game, but by the time you start getting like past Moria and that, they really don't have any impact. And I think the troll's just reset. Oh, okay, it's reset and immediately aggroed. Fantastic. I don't want you, sir. I can't even play dead because I'm not a hobbit. Let's see if we can de-aggro you somewhere. That's probably not going to happen. I'm probably going to end up dying horribly. Go away, troll. Is he gone? No? Yes? Oh, thank God. Alright, let's actually heal up. So yeah, they want to revamp the virtue system. Now, the problem is, in order to make virtues at the higher levels relevant to characters at higher levels, so they give you meaningful amounts of stats rather than pitiful amounts of stats like they currently do, they need to stop you from being able to get them really early in the game. Because obviously if a level 5 character is running around with the stat boosts that would be expected for a level 120 character, they're going to be ridiculously OP. Okay? So the idea being that they plan to do something, and they haven't told us anything, so you know, they haven't told us exactly how they're going to change the virtues, but they've mentioned it in terms of comparing it to like how gear scales in the game. Okay, so if you have your armor sets, probably pull up an example on my screen. So each piece of gear has an item level associated with it. Okay, and for procedurally generated gear, you know, you get spawned in a particular piece of gear. It says, right, your item level is 63. Allocate the stats based on a level. I've done the same thing I did last time I was busy talking. I didn't actually give him the draft that I meant him to. Oh, fuck's sake. So it will allocate you stats appropriate to a level 63 item, okay? And it's going to be the same thing, it seems, with the virtues, so that level 1, like rank 1 and 2 will give you a small amount, rank 3 will give you a bigger amount, rank 4 will give you a bigger amount, and so on and so forth. Please reset, Mr. Troll, or I'm going to die a horrible death. Oh god, I can't actually fit through there. Oh, okay, he's reset. Right. We need to fully regen properly this time and actually use the draft. So the idea being that, you know, rank 20, the current maximum rank of the virtue system, would give you a portion of stats which is appropriate to an end game character, okay? Versus, you know, the first rank of that virtue, which will give you a small amount of stats relevant to a low level character. So it could be a nice way of making virtues useful again, because really they don't scale very well. There's no point really taking virtues that offer primary stats, because, you know, if you're getting a couple hundred of might, agility, whatever, will, versus, you know, your gear, which is giving you like thousands upon thousands of the stats, it's a drop in the ocean. So currently with virtues, you're kind of having to go back and think, well, there's no point me getting the offensive based virtues, so let's go for the ones that give me things that I could make use from, you know, the ones that give you physical mitigation, tactical mitigation, and resistance rating. So that's kind of been like the virtue method for some time now. But the problem is that now, you know, at level 120, the amount of physical mitigation, tactical mitigation, and mastery that it gives you is still very small in comparison to what you could get from other sources. Like literally, like one essence at level 120 probably gives you 3, if not 4, top tier virtues worth of a particular mitigation. So they're basically useless at the end game. They're, you know, reasonably nice to have at the low levels, but at the end game they're currently quite useless at the moment. Right, we need one more troll. This one over here should have respawned by now. Yeah, yes. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with that. They haven't actually given us the details, but the fact that they've kind of like done this preliminary step to kind of like restrict the bonuses and the virtues at this point, and the fact they did it on a minor hotfix suggests that maybe they could be looking to plan to do something for the next proper update, which is what, update 24? I think that's right. So, oh crap, I wasn't paying attention there. So yeah, we could potentially see that. Who knows? Whenever the next update launches, which could be in the run up to Christmas, it could be in the new year. Misadventure incapacitated me, so it was obviously the dot rather than the arrows that guy was shooting. But yeah, I for one look forward to the virtue changes, because they've been in need of overhaul for some time. What would be interesting though is to see how big of an overhaul they give. Are they just going to keep the same stats on the same virtues and just basically buff up the stats to make them more meaningful? Personally, I'd like to see if they actually change some of the stats and bonuses that it gives, you know. Maybe even make them things that aren't just raw stats, you know, things like your might, agility, your power regen, physical mitigation, all that kind of stuff. Maybe they could do some interesting things that might augment your damage or something, you know. Give a bonus to damage, bonus to avoidances. Those kind of things could be interesting to really help you kind of customise your build a bit in ways that maybe you can't get from other sources. So, you know, you could maybe have some like percentage bonuses to your defence, which might be a nice thing to take if you're a tank, or otherwise if you're a very squishy character, or things to augment your damage if you just want to deal maximum DPS. That could all be quite interesting things to do. Come on, die, troll. But yeah, it remains to be seen what they do. I'm watching with close interest, shall we say. Jesus Christ, why don't you hit him? I'm out of power. Just waiting for him to bleed to death before he clubs me in the face again. Right, so we can head back to Quickbeam then. But yeah, I'd be interested to know what you guys think with virtues. Like, what would you guys like to see with changes to virtues? Would you like to see something, like I said, where you can have more meaningful changes to customise your character? Would you just like to see that the current stats that are offered by virtues scaled? I doubt they're going to do like a complete throw it in the bin and reinvent the wheel kind of thing. So I still expect that, you know, whenever they've done whatever changes they're going to do, we're still going to have the 20 or whatever, yeah, it's 20 virtues we have currently. But it'd be interesting as well, because the way they've described it, with every 5 levels it goes up by 1. That with the current level cap being 120, that would mean theoretically you'd need 24 ranks of virtues to scale until the current level cap, with the 24th level being unlocked at level 116. So maybe as well they could stick in some extra ranks of virtues as well, which would be quite nice. So let's just throw these quests back at Quickbeam.
Home. You are hasty folk.
Slower, you say? Drowsy, even? Yes, well, That is unexpected, but not wholly so. There must be something of ancient wood in them after all. To think that trees might have been bent so, it only makes me angrier. The Entmoot must know of this. Tarum! So what have we got? We've got a cloak, which is not too bad. How does that dye? Do we get some interesting dyes on that? Okay, so you can only dye the interior bit. So maybe if you dyed that like a black or a white. I'm not too keen on the yellow stripes though. If it wasn't for the yellow stripes, if that was like a grey stripe or something, that would be quite nice. We have a pocket, a necklace, and a bracer. So just a fairly standard pair of gloves. But yeah, so hand that in. Whoops, accept one of them. I don't have enough room. Fantastic. Get rid of some of that. No. I still don't have enough room. Okay, it's put. I can't quit that. Was it quit the quest? Get rid of that. I then probably have to get rid of that straight away again.
Stand now and rest a while.
Saruman intends to march south, and soon, I think. My fellows are unlikely to decide upon their purpose before then, for they are not so quick to judge as I. That is unfortunate, I think, for so many orcs can cause a great deal of trouble. Yet at least they will be out of the forests for a time. It also means that fewer will be here near Isengard. Tarum. Now that presents possibilities. Yes, so it does. So we have another cloak. We've got a dragon cloak. We have a pair of trousers, which is probably going to be fairly... oh my goodness. That does not suit you well, sir. Those cosmetics. Or a bracelet or an earring, so we'll hand that in.
Home now. What business have you with the Ents?
So, we have now completed, with that, the Nancoronir questing deed, which, because I've completed that questing deed, we've now completed Quests of Dunland, and because we've completed that, we've now activated the hidden deed, Deeds of Dunland, where we have to complete all the explorers from all the little mini-regions so far, all the quests in the various mini-regions, which we've done, and all the Slayer deeds in Dunland as a whole. So we're slowly getting there. There can't be too much more of the explorer deeds that I need to do. But yeah, so I think we'll stop there then, and next episode we will continue with assisting Quickbeam. So until then, see you guys next time.